and a very good day everyone. So today we will learn on if function. We will also learn about pivot table and also conditional formatting. As you can refer over here, we do have a database that has company code, subsidiaries name, service description, revenue and expenses. So basically you are employed as an executive whereby you are required to prepare the financial performance report for the subsidiaries. So based on this given data set which has the company code, revenue, expenses, you are required to determine the profit or loss for these particular subsidiaries, and you need to summarize the results. Why? Because the management, the subsidiaries management, they want to know the performance so that they can review and enhance their decision making, whether they need to can provide more borrowings, more loan, more approval for the subsidiaries, or maybe they can actually dispose any loss making subsidiaries. So in this case, as an executive of a subsidiaries management, you are required to know whether the subsidiaries is making profit and loss. So what I'll do here is I'll just write here profit slash loss. So basically I'm going to use a simple mathematics, a simple accounting. Of course, in the real accounting world, you have like revenue, COGS, EBITDA, gross profit, net profit, profit after tax. But in this case, it's a very simplified process where you have revenue and expenses. So you want to know whether that particular subsidiary, whether they are making profit or they are making loss. So in order to determine the profit, it's very simple, equal revenue minus expenses. And just like that, you can know whether the company is making profit or loss. So if just say it's a negative figure, it's a loss-making company. But if just say it's a profitable, that means it's a positive numbers means that means a profitable company. However, this is not the reality, because in the real we have like revenue, COGS, gross profit, EBITDA, depreciation, interest expenses, OPEX, and so on. So this is a very simplified fictional data. So right now we know whether the company is making profit and loss, and then over here what I can do is I can actually put a status. So the status can actually help my manager know whether which company is making profit, which company is making loss. So if just say the figures over here is more than 0, that means if more than 0 means, that means it's a profit making company. And if just say it's a loss making company, it will be less than 0. So I use if function because if function we do have two scenarios. So a logical test that determines whether the subject is met. So if just say the logical test here is true, that means if the number is more than 0, then value if true is profit. Otherwise it is loss. So now I press enter, and then what I can do is I can double click. But before I double click, what I want to do is I want to click on conditional formatting, highlight cell rules. So if just say the text contains, so text that contains, if just say it contains the word LO, that means it is a loss and it is a red color. So I don't have to write the entire word. I don't have to write LOSS. Instead, I can just write LO. That is good enough. And then I press OK. And I want to do the same thing for profit. So I go to conditional formatting again, highlight cell rules. I'll go to text that contain and PR, or you want to write the letter P is enough. You don't have to write the full word. You just write the text that contain what particular letter. So I'll just write PR, and then I want it to appear green color, and I press OK. Now what I do is I'll just double click. So when I double click, my manager can actually have a look which company is making profit, which company is making loss. So they can understand, okay, if just say red color and loss, so this indicates that that's a loss making company. If just say over here green color, then this indicates the company is basically making profit, and it is the profit figure, as you can see here, is positive, more than 0, so it's a profit making company. So now some of them they ask me, Alan, how if just say I want to make sure that all these figures here is highlighted, because my manager, he can't see here, he want to see every line. So the line item indicates that if just say it's a loss making company, all the line item will change to a red color, and if just say it is profit, then all the line item, it indicates that is a profit or it's more than 0. So how to do this? Well, what we can do is we can just remove the conditional formatting. So go to conditional formatting and clear rules from the selected cells. So you need to highlight and clear rules from selected cells. So in this case, if just say you want that entire row to be highlighted or entire database in this given line, what you need to do is you need to highlight first. Okay, once you highlight, you go to conditional formatting. We can't use highlight that text that contain, because this one we want to highlight the other details as well. So I go to new rule and I will use a formula to determine which cell to format. So I'll just click it over here and I'll click this arrow over here and then what I'll do is I'll go up. So now if you see here, if this particular word contains loss, I want to make it the entire row, the list item here to be red color. So you need to know absolute reference. So absolute reference is when you have $2 signs in these coordinates. So I'm going to do what? I'm going to use mixed reference. So I'm going to press the F4 button, or in some case you need to press function and F4. So why I press F4? Because I want this data to the dollar sign to appear before I, or to appear before the letter I. So I press F4 one more time. So now you have see here the dollar sign appears before I. It means it will lock the column I. So if this one is equivalent to loss, LOSS, and then you'll notice that the entire details over here will change color. So I need to go to format, and then what I'll do is I'll just choose a red color over here, and the font I want to make it white color so that my manager can see what color it is. So I'll put here white color, and I'll put here bold. I press OK. So right now it will be red color background and white color font. So when I press OK, what you will notice is whatever has negative figure or the word loss, automatically it will change. So for example, if just say I change this to a number, maybe this revenue I put 1, 2, 3, so automatically it changes to a different color. But what if just say I want to put the green color for profit for the entire listing? So the same thing, you need to actually highlight it. So I'll highlight, I go to conditional formatting again, new rule. So I need to use a formula, and I need to click this arrow again. I need to go to this cell. So the cell is I6. So I need to press the F4 button twice. Okay, 1, 2, so that the dollar sign appears before the letter I, equal apostrophe profit. So you must write the full word profit, and then you press here enter, and then I want to maybe green color. So format, fill, I put here green color, I press here OK. So green color, or if just say you want bold also can. So I go to font, I put here bold, I press OK, and I press OK. So now you'll see whatever red color, it is loss making. Whatever red color loss making, green color is a profit making. But what if just say my manager want to see a summary, because this is a coloring, but my manager, he wants to see a summary because he don't want to see the detail. So if you want to see a summary, you can use pivot table. So you press Ctrl A, it will highlight the entire database. Go to insert and click pivot table. So I'm going to click pivot table, a box will appear. Up to you whether you want to use existing sheet or new worksheet. I will suggest you go to the new worksheet so that your current worksheet is not complete or complex with full information. So new worksheet, and then now my manager wants to know which company is making profit, which company is making loss. So I'll just tick the status, and I'll take the subsidiary's name. So from here my manager can see, okay, which company is making profit, which company is making losses. Then I'll just take the profit loss, so over here we can understand. But sometimes in some management, they want to see the profit appear first, because if you look here carefully, loss appear first, then only profit. Why? Because we follow the pivot table follows the alphabetical order. So in this case, if I want the profit to appear first, what you do is you put your cursor on this line, you put the active cell as the profit, right click, okay, so you select this, right click, and then you go to move, and then you move the profit up, or you can move the beginning. It's the same thing, because move profit up, up means you'll go up, beginning means you'll go to the first one. So in this case, we only have 2 items, so both also is the same. So I'm going to select this, and automatically your profit is go up and loss is over here. So now your manager can see, okay, so in this case, this is the profit making companies, this is the loss making companies, and then you can just press right click, you can go to sort largest to smallest. So in this case, your manager can understand which is the loss making company, extremely losses, and which is a profit making company.